Hey, what it is, everybody. So lately I've been playing a lot of the Wii U and the Nintendo 2DS, and it inspired me to make this video, and I want to talk about the state of Nintendo, what's going on, and why I choose to still partially support Nintendo. And when I mean supporting Nintendo, I mean, the standard of what it is. If you buy a Nintendo product, or if you buy a Wii U game or 2DS game, technically you are supporting Nintendo. So let's get right into this. So right now, we all know that Nintendo, they're not really in the best position right now when it comes to the gaming industry. The Wii U's not really doing very good. Not many players are really interested in playing the Wii U. In my opinion, I think the Nintendo 3DS and 2DS are the ones that's really holding Nintendo up in any way. I find myself playing a Nintendo 2DS and 3DS more than a Wii U. Even though I have one, yes, I play the Wii U, but I spend more time on the 2DS, really. One of the reasons why I think Nintendo isn't really doing very good is because they take way too long to drop their exclusives. I mean, don't get me wrong, they've had, a couple hits here and there with good games like Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. That was a very good game. Pokken Tournament was okay, but it should have been a little better. Yoshi's World was alright. They have some good games, but, not as much as they believe they do, I guess. They have a very few handful, but other than that, a lot of their games, I guess, they're just taking way too long, and people are just losing interest in the Nintendo universe, really. And, we all know Super Smash Brothers. That was a game that, everybody likes. It's a high seller when it comes to the Nintendo console. It's a good party game. Super Smash Brothers is a very good party game to play with your friends when you're at home and just to chill and enjoy. Some people even bought a Nintendo Wii U just to play Super Smash Brothers. I was one of those people, obviously, but then there was other games that I wanted to play as well, because I knew Super Smash Brothers is a game that I had to get. So yeah, it was a primary game that I got just to get the Wii U. But even with just a handful of good games that came out, I still don't think it's enough to help Nintendo and bring it back into the relevant world of gaming. If they're gonna do this, they have to go all out. I hope the Nintendo NX system that comes out really brings it, because they're gonna have to go all out with this system and make it a good system that gamers will like. If they don't, they're just gonna continue to be irrelevant as usual. And the sad part about it is Nintendo has a lot of good stars. Like, take this picture, for example, with classic Nintendo characters. Even the most non-gamer, the most casual, a person who doesn't know nothing about video games can name most of these characters. Maybe not all, but most. And to me, that's what a star is. When a person who doesn't know much about gaming can even name the characters. That's right there proves somewhat of a legacy right there. To me, that's what proves what a video game star is. I would say more people can name these characters better than they can name these characters right here. Simply because these characters are more new. Yeah, these characters are a hell of a lot cooler and better, but more people can name Nintendo than these modern characters you see in this picture right here. My whole point to the Nintendo stars is this. Nintendo has all these good characters. Why aren't they using them to their full potential? Yes, it's cool to put them in Super Smash Brothers. Yes, it's cool to put them in Mario Kart, things like that. But at the same time, with all these good characters that they have, I just don't feel like they're really using them up to their potential. They can be using them a lot. To me, I think the only character that they're really using the best way is the characters from the Zelda universe, Link, Zelda, etc. But other than that, I don't really see any other characters that are being used in a good way. Yeah, don't get me wrong, Zelda universe is easy to work with because of the context of the game itself. So yeah, I get that, but with these other characters, they have potential to be good. I just don't think Nintendo is using them in a better way. And another reason why I think Nintendo falls is because of their hardware. Like I said about the motion gaming, the motion sensor control gaming, I'm not a big fan of that. I hate that. I hate games where I have to use a stick controller and use it as a motion sensor. I don't like that. I prefer a classic controller, which is why I think one of Nintendo's best controllers design was the Nintendo game, probably between the Nintendo GameCube and maybe Nintendo 64 to the classic old school Nintendo controller. Those were good, but this new Wiimote and the gamepad and all that, I don't like those. I really hope when the Nintendo NX drops, they don't use that gamepad thing, even though I believe they are going to use it. I hope they just make it to where you can also have a regular classic Nintendo controller as well. I think that'll be good for the Nintendo NX because motion sensor controlling is annoying. Another reason why I think players have serious problems with Nintendo is because they are notorious for rehashing their characters in their old school classic games. Well, this falls with the whole thing of me saying Nintendo, they're going to stick to their stars, basically. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to stick to their stars. You know, they're going to make sure they rehash them. You know, they kind of have this purist state of mind where, you know, they want to stick with their nostalgia and make sure players get, you know, that whole feeling of back in the day kind of thing, you know, and that's cool. I can deal with that. But my thing is this: come out with new stuff, come out with new characters, you know. That's fine if they want to stick with their new stars, you know, that's expected. And really, it's not really just Nintendo doing that. Microsoft and Sony, they do that as well. You know, they have their stars as well, but you know, they're gonna make sure their stars sell. That's just how it works with Nintendo. So I can handle that. I can deal with that. A lot of players don't like it, but I mean, that's expected. They're gonna do that. A lot of players also don't like Nintendo because they don't like the Nintendo universe being so family friendly. Well, first off, Nintendo's always been family friendly, and that's just the nature of their games. They're always going to be like this. I don't see them doing the whole mature thing anytime soon. If they do, it'd be surprising. I do think they do need to take a little bit of a mature step, but I just don't see them doing it. I think they're too much of purists to do that. I would like to see them do it, but I highly doubt they would do that. But it would be nice to see Nintendo kind of go a mature route and, you know, kind of take a little bit step forward, stop going back into the past. But I just don't see them doing that. But this is where I kind of have to defend Nintendo in a small way. Just because a game has, you know, a rating E for everyone where it's a family friendly doesn't mean the game is always gonna not be good. There's been plenty of games that came out that are family friendly that turned out to be really good games. You know, I don't think a game should be judged based on its maturity. It should be judged based on how well it plays. If it's balanced out, you know, that's what a game should be judged on, not the fact that how it looks, it being family friendly. I mean, look at Pokemon. Pokemon is always going to sell. Pokemon is worldwide, international. They're going to get their money no matter what. And everyone likes Pokemon, from kids to adults. Hell, I would even say that Pokemon is one of the driving forces of Nintendo. If it wasn't for Pokemon, Nintendo would be extremely just like irrelevant right now, like very, very irrelevant. They owe a lot to the Pokemon company. They really helped them stay out of the shadows, especially with recently Pokemon Go mobile app and Pokemon Sun and Moon expecting to drop here in a couple months. They owe a lot to the Pokemon company. I mean, they really helped them stay out of the gutter. Pokemon is one of the reasons why I support Nintendo, because every time a Pokemon game comes out, I buy it. Now, when it comes to Kirby games, Yoshi games, Mario games, if I find them interesting, then I'll play them. But most of the time, the games that I normally get are Zelda, Donkey Kong, and maybe Metroid. Those games are good, but like I said, it really depends on how interesting the game itself is. Mario games, you know, they tend to be good. I never played any of the Paper Marios, even though I've heard that they were really good games. I just feel like Nintendo can do a lot better. I just don't think they're going to take that mature route. So if you're a fan out there who says Nintendo should mature, I agree. They should. They really should. But I just don't see them doing that. I think they're too much of a purist in order to take that step forward. It'd be nice. It'd be really nice to see that. But I really don't see Nintendo. I just don't see Nintendo doing that. They're going to keep their product E rated. If Nintendo really wants to appeal to the mass like Sony and Microsoft does, they're really going to have to step it up with the hardware. Like I said before, I would say stay away from the motion sensor controlling when the NX drops. And another thing too, better online gaming. That's really where a lot of money is going into, online gaming, because players love competition. So when it comes to Nintendo, they're going to have to come out with some better IPs for online gaming that can appeal to a lot of players, that can be good competition. Something like battle. I'm not saying you have to come out with a first person shooter like Battlefield 1 or Titanfall or Call of Duty or anything like that. Those that are tearing up the servers that are online with the competition first person shooter. But just come out with something different, something original that players will like for an online competition game. This is the part where they have to turn into realists. They're going to have to come out with some online games that people will like. They don't have to be arena shooters or anything like that, but they're going to have to be competition online games that people are going to enjoy. Monster Hunter is a very good game. I don't think that's an online competitor, but it's a very good game that players like to play. I even played Monster Hunter a couple of times, and that game is awesome. If I can throw some ideas out there myself, I think a Mario Donkey Kong team-up game would be pretty interesting, which focuses solely on those two characters. I think that would be awesome. I would like to see another Metroid Prime game, kind of bring Nintendo back into that first-person shooter of Metroid Prime, or even not. It don't even have to be a first-person shooter, just another Metroid Prime game that's fresh and new. I would like to see a Pokemon game that plays like the original games on the handheld systems, but on the console, on the Nintendo NX. I think that would be awesome. I think that would be great, but I don't know if they would do that. I think that would be a good game to play, like on a console where it's the whole format is completely 3D with new graphics. I think that would be good, and make it like an MMO kind of game. I think that would be great, and it would connect a lot of players. Supporting Nintendo is not easy, especially nowadays. You do get a lot of heat from people. They call you Nintendo fanboys and stuff like that, or people who have not matured. It's hard defending Nintendo nowadays, especially with the state that they're in. I really want Nintendo to be successful. I want these guys to be good. I want them to be back into the console wars with Sony and Microsoft, because they need to be relevant. They are not, but they need to be. And with Nintendo now, especially what they showcased at E3 this past year, they're just not coming out with enough. They're going to need more than Pokemon and Zelda to save them. It's going to take a whole lot more. It's going to take a big step forward as far as hardware, maturity, and a plethora of other things. Last message to Nintendo. I'm hoping you guys can come out with something good with this NX, and I'm really looking forward to it. I don't want it to fail. So that completes this video of why I support Nintendo. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, please leave a like, subscribe. If you think there's more to this video that needs to be added, please leave a comment below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to catch you guys next time. Peace out. Y'all be safe.